Hello again, welcome to the Wildlife Ambassador Program. This presentation is on the mammals of Belize, and again, it does not include all mammal species that are found in Belize. So, for the content, we'll go through an introduction, um, the benefits of mammals, classification of mammals in Belize, and then we'll move on into identification of different um, species and of different families. So, a brief introduction on mammals. Mammals have either hair or fur and are warm blooded vertebrates that give birth to living young. And they have mammary glands that their young feed from. And there are up to 6,495 species worldwide so far. And in Belize, we have around 145 mammals in our borders, and about half of those are bat species, which is pretty extensive, so we won't be touching on all bat species. And they are present in all ecosystems, and mammals being mammals, they are very elusive animals that can sometimes be hard to spot. So the benefits of mammals: first, we have environmental benefits. They are pollinators and seed dispersers, and also grazers, which is very important for the production of new individual species of plants, grass, flowers. And we also have mammals that aid in population control of insects, of other mammals, of reptiles, of amphibians. And they are very important bioindicators that can tell us the health of the environment that they are present in. Economically, they are a source of food. We do have game species here in Belize that are protected by the Wildlife Protection Act, as well. And then we have the tourism sector that benefits from our mammal species. Now, classification of mammals in Belize, like I mentioned, we have around 145 mammal species, and more than half of those are bats. In the Delphides family, which are opossums, we have 8 species of 2 subfamilies. In the Chiroptera bats, we have 81 species from 7 families so far. And the Atelidae, we have, well, the monkeys, we have 2 species. And the Xenartrans, which include the ant eaters and armadillos, we have 3 species from 2 families. And the rodents, we have 5 species listed in this um, PowerPoint from 4 different families. And we have 12 species of carnivores from 4 families, and 4 species of Procyonidae, which includes the raccoons, Quatemondo king, and kinkajou. And from the pecaries and deer group, we have 4 species from 2 families, and the tapir family has 1 species, and and as well as the manatee. So to start off with the opossums, reasons why we may come in contact with them is because of our pets attacking them, or we can also find orphans of any of the opossum species, and they sometimes get into buildings that they are not wanted in, and also in our garbage, especially if it's not properly secured. And they also steal um, pet food that is left outside, or any food that is left outside. So to start off, we have the woolly opossum, Colormis derbianus, from the subfamily Caluraminae. They are they have brown fur with a gray tinge on the lower sides, with dark brown stripe on their forehead in the middle of their forehead, and their eyes are slightly bulged with a black pupils in the center of brown eyes. And they have a tail that is half covered in fur, and their diet includes fruits, nectar, and insects. Then we have the common opossum from the subfamily the Delphinae, from the Delphidae family. And the Latin name for this species is the Delphis marsupialis. They are black or gray fur, and their tail is usually longer than their body, which is naked and has a short black coloration with a longer white end of the tail. And their diet includes small animals, including insects, worms, small vertebrates, snakes, fruit, and nectar. And both of these species are nocturnal, and they can be found in trees, more than likely alone, except when they have offspring. Then we have the Virginia opossum, which is the Delphis virginiana from the same Delphidae family. And they have similar coloration to common opossums, except that below their eyes is white, and their tail usually has equal black and white coloration, or full black, or the black is longer than the white. Their diet includes insects, invertebrates, small vertebrates, carrion fruits, plant matter. They are a nocturnal species, like opossum species, and they can be found in trees or on the ground and solitary on their own, right? Then we move on to the Mexican mouse opossum, one of the smallest opossums found here in Belize. Latin name Marmosa mexicana. They are light brown to a reddish brown fur, and around their eyes is dark brown, almost black. And they have dense fur on the base of their tail, and the rest is naked. And they usually eat insects and fruits. Unlike the other opossum species, they are active during the night and can be found on their own, either up in trees or on the ground. Then we move to the four-eyed gray opossum, philander opossum. They are gray, and some have fine white bands on their body, and their face has a black mask around the eyes with two spots above each eye and below each ear, which looks like the eyes, which is why they are called the four-eyed opossum. Their ears have no fur, and their rims are black, and their tail is gray at the base, with no fur and white at the tip. They usually eat invertebrates, small vertebrates, and fruits. And this species, the female has a pouch. Then we move on to common bat species that we may come across either in buildings, could be houses or barns, or anywhere that bats have space to get into and roost. And they can also be attacked by our pets. Starting off with the common vampire bat. Yes, we do have the vampire bats here. If you have been following our Facebook live sessions, we have talked about bats in Belize. So the Latin name for the common vampire bat, this Modus rotundus, from this Modontinae subfamily of bats. They are mid-sized and they can be either black or brown, and their wings are black with short fur on it, and they have no nose leaf, and their ears are triangle and pointed, and they have hairy feet, and the tail is naked and a bit long, and their diet is blood from mammals, which is mostly cows or sheep, so livestock. But we must be aware with these this species living around our house because they can um, get blood from us as well, although it is very rare. Then we move on to the hairy legged vampire, Typhila equadata, from the same subfamily, the Mondontinae. This bat species has a rich brown to almost blackish coloration, and they have a very short nose leaf that is in the shape in the that is U-shaped uh, folds, and they have a quote unquote pleasant smile with large eyes, and their ears are short and rounded, and they barely have a tail, and they feed mainly on blood from birds, mainly from birds. Then we have one of the smaller bat species found in Belize, the proboscis bat, Rhinoconisteris naso, from the family Emballonuridae. Um, they are gray grizzled, so gray with some whitish on the top, brown dorsal, and their dorsal sides are brown with a faint white stripe forming an hourglass shape on the lower back and the rump. Their ears are brown and they have a short tail, and they mainly eat insects and can be found near or over slow moving water in cave mouths, under trees or under bridges. Then we have the fast vampire bat, sorry, Vampirum spectrum, from the Philostomidae family, and their upper parts, the head and shoulder, is dark brown or chestnut brown or rust orange, and they have a wide pale stripe going from their crown to their rump, so from their head to the base of the tail. And they have very long ears, and their wingspan is anywhere between 80 centimeters to 90 centimeters. So um, that'll be 2.5 feet to 3 feet long, and they have a very long tail, and a medium-sized nose leaf. Their diet includes bats, rodents, birds, sometimes insects, and maybe fruits. And they roost in small, tight groups in hollow trees. And they are the largest bat that is found in Belize. Then we move on into the common tent making bat, the Oruderma belobatum, from the Philostomidae family. They are a gray colored bat with a prominent white stripe on their back that does not connect to the two stripes on their face, and they have a nose leaf that is in the shape of a fleshy spear, and their ears are triangle shaped, Their diet includes fruit, nectar, and insects. And these are called tent making bats because they roost under um, tents that they make from banana or plantain leaves in small groups. Then we have the fringe lip bat from the same family. They are a grayish brown to tan brown color, and their wing they have the membrane on their wings and tail is brown, and they have large rounded eyes with projecting tuber cells on their nose, and the nose leaf is medium size, and their tail is short. They usually eat frogs, lizards, insects, small mammals, and birds. And this species roosts in small groups in hollow trees, caves, in culverts, under bridges, in forest plantations, and low and secondary forest vegetation. Then we move on into the primates found here in Belize. They are they can be victims of the illegal pet trade, victims of poaching. They can be hit by cars when they're crossing the road from one side of the forest to the other. And our pets sometimes do attack um, these monkeys. So to start off with the monkeys, we look at the Yucatan black howler monkey. Uh, Other common names for these monkeys is baboon or sarawate in Spanish, or mono aullador, and their Latin name is Alouatta pigra, and they are all black large with a long prehensile tail that serves as a fifth appendage, and their diet includes fruit and leaves. And they can be seen mostly during the day and heard during the day and during the night, found in trees most of the time. They rarely come down to the ground, and they form small groups. Then we have the Central American spider monkey, otherwise known as a Joffrey spider monkey, or Mono araña in Spanish. Their Latin name is Ateles geoffroy, and they are a large primate species that can be brown, chestnut, or silvery colored. Their belly is a lighter color than the rest of their body, um, which is usually darker. Well, obviously, it's supposed to be darker. They have a tail that is longer than their body and is also used as a fifth limb, fifth appendage. And their diet includes ripe fruit, leaves, and flowers. They are diurnal, mostly found in trees and form groups as well. Then we can move on into the anteater and armadillo group. And these species are can be hit by car when they are crossing roads, attacked by our pets, and are victims of illegal hunting and even misidentification in regards to anteaters and armadillos. So to start off with the anteaters, we have the northern tamandua. Um, it is also referred to as the anteater or the ant bear, or in Spanish, the oso hormiguero. And this species' Latin name is Tamandua mexicana from the Myrmesophagidae family. They are brown, yellowish on their head and arms, and they have a black vest. Their snout is long with a long tongue that they use to um, gather up ants or termites when they find a nest. And they also have a prehensile tail. And their diet includes ants, termites, and even bees. They are active during the day and the night and can be found in trees or on the ground, in uh, dense forests, forest edges, or even tree plantations. Then we move on into the silky or the pygmy anteater, which is even rarer than the tamandua. The Latin name for this species is Cyclops didactylus from the Myrmesophagidae family. They have a smoky gray to almost gold color and a dark brown stripe from the center of their shoulder to the rump to the base of the tail. And their prehensile tail is long and tapered, meaning it goes from thicker to more slender. And their diet includes ants and other insects. And this species, unlike the tamandua, is nocturnal and always found in trees. Now the armadillo, one of the this is the nine-banded armadillo, which is referred to as dili in Creole or wedge in Spanish, I believe. And the Latin name for this species is Dasypus novemcinctus from the Dispodidae family. And their color is usually gray to yellowish, and they have a bony plates on their body that serves as a body, quote unquote body armor that usually has nine movable bands, but more commonly it could be 8 to 10 bands then. And their tail is tapered with the same bony plates that is on their back. And their diet includes ants, termites, insects, small animal, prey, carrion fruit, fungus, and plant material. And they are a game species under the Wildlife Protection Act. They are mostly nocturnal, found on the ground on their own. Then we move into the rodents that we find here in Belize, that can be victims of illegal hunting. These rodent squirrels actually are not um, game species, and they are also expats, so victims of the illegal pet trade. And they can get into problems with humans by stealing foods and having our pets attack them. Sorry. So to start off with the Yucatan squirrel, Cirrus yucatanensis from the Sciuridae family, is their fur is gray to blackish, and they have a black tail with a frosted that is frosted with white, and they mainly eat fruits, nuts, and insects. Then we have the Deppy squirrel, Sciurus deppei, from the same family, Sciuridae. And this species is brown to an olive color or a reddish brown, and their tail is slender with black frosted with a white tip above or on the end. And they usually eat berries, acorns, and fungi. And they are also diurnal like the Yucatan squirrel and can be found in trees or on the ground, usually alone. Here we have the Mexican hairy dwarf porcupine, or puercoespin in Spanish. And the Latin name for this species is Figurus mexicanus, and it is sometimes referred to as cuendo. Mexicanos, depending on which book you are looking at and what date the book was published in. This is from the family Erythrozontidae, and they are either brown or black with a long prehensile tail that they use as a fifth appendage, and their spines are hidden in the long, soft black hairs that they have. Their diet consists of ripe and green fruit, seeds, and plant material, so the leaves, flowers, stems. And important to note with this species, the species of porcupine cannot shoot their quills at all. They are mostly active during the night and most often found in the trees. Then we move on into the paca, also referred to as gibnut or tepesquinter, or also the royal rat. The Latin name for this species is Coniculus paca. Again, with this species, it can also be referred to as agute paca, depending on which book you are looking at and the date that the book was published. The species is from the family Coniculidae, and it is a large rodent that is brown or blackish with horizontal rows of white spots on their sides. And they usually eat fruit, browse for uh, insects on the ground, and tubers, which are specialized roots of plants. They are mostly nocturnal and found on the ground. Then we have a similar species to the alpaca, the Central American agouti, also referred to as bush rabbit or Indian rabbit. And their Latin name is Dasyprocta punctata from the Dasyproctidae family. And like the paca, they are large rodents with reddish brown or blackish fur. And their diet includes seeds, fruits, fungi, flowers, leaves, and insects. And they are mostly diurnal and always found on the ground. Then we'll move on into our carnivore species that we find here in Belize. And they can get into problems with humans by predating on our livestock, which can lead to illegal hunting. Um, and we also find orphans of some of these species, and they can also be hit by cars while they are crossing roads, especially our major highways. So, starting off, we have the jaguar, also referred to as the tiger, with the Latin name Panthera onca, from the cat family, Felidae. They are a large tan yellow cat with black rosettes, and their neck is patted above and below, and they have no stripes. And they can also be full black with darker rosettes. They have a long tail that is spotted or banded with black, and their diet includes large mammals, reptiles, and small mammals. And they are active during the day or during the night, and during the night. Then we have the puma, or the red tiger, or mountain lion, with the Latin name Puma concolor, from the cat family. This is a large cat that is sometimes larger than jaguar that we have here in these. Sorry. Um, it is brownish color or reddish brown or tawny with white throat and mouth. And their diet includes medium sized and large mammals, snakes, and rats. And they're active during the day and night. Then we have a medium sized cat, the ocelot, also referred to as tiger cat or tigrillo in Spanish. Their Latin name is Leopardus pardalis, and they are yellow or tawny with black spots and lines, and their tail is shorter than the hind legs. And their diet includes rodents, birds, snakes, small vertebrates, and lizards. And they're active mostly during the night, and although they are mostly terrestrial, they are good climbers and can be found in trees. Then we have another small cat called the margay. The Latin name Leopardus wadey, and this is a yellowish, tawny, or brownish gray cat with black spots and lines, almost similar to the ocelot. And the different how to differentiate between the ocelot and the margays is that the margay's tail is longer than their hind legs, and their eyes are also dark and more protruding than that of the ocelot. Their diet includes small mammals found in trees and on the ground, birds, reptiles, insects, and fruits. They are mostly found in trees, but do come down to the ground and are active at night. Then we have the jaguarundi, also called the halare. Their Latin name is Harpyloris jaguarundi, and they are also from the cat family. And this is a slender cat that has no spots, and the color of their fur is gray, brown, or reddish. Their diet includes small mammals, birds, and reptiles, and they are mostly found on the ground, but they can also climb and are active during the day and night. Then we have Mustelidae, species from the mustelids family. The grison, Latin name Galictis vittata. It is a weasel-like mammal with short legs that is grayish or grizzled on their backs and on their sides, and their muzzle, throat, chest, and limbs are all black. Their diet includes small vertebrates, rodents, fish, birds, reptiles, and amphibians. And they are active during the night and early in the morning, and mostly found on the ground. Then we have a similar looking species, the tyra, also referred to as a bush dog, Latin name Ira barbara, which is also a mustelid and is black or and has a black or brown body, and the head and neck can be tan brown or yellowish. And on their chest, between their neck and their chest, they have a large yellowish spot. And their diet includes small vertebrates, insects, fruits, and honey, and can be found during the day or early morning or um, before it gets dark. And although they are mostly terrestrial, they are excellent climbers. Then we move on into the dog family. The gray fox, Urocion cinerogentus. They are silver gray with reddish ears and shoulders. Their main diet includes birds, mammals, eggs, carrion, insects, roots, tubers, seeds, grains, nuts, and fruits. And they are active during the day and during the night and are mostly terrestrial but can climb as well. Then we have the coyote, which is not a native species of Belize. In fact, they are an invasive species, which in turn serves as a bioindicator of the state of our forested areas that we have here in Belize. The Latin name for this species is Canis latrans. They are also from the dog family. They are grayish brown to a yellowish gray on their upper parts with darker back and shoulders. Their throat and belly are whitish, and their front legs, their side of the head and muzzle and their feet are reddish brown. Their diet includes birds, mammals, reptiles, carrion, insects, worms, and non-insect arthropods. They form packs and are active during the night and can some are sometimes active during the day. Then we move on into the Procyonidae family. They are victims of the illegal wildlife pet trade, and they can get into conflict with humans by um, car being hit by cars. They are also found as orphans. Um, they get into conflict with humans again by stealing foods and living in places that they are not supposed to be in, like in buildings or homes. Here we have the kinkajou, also referred to as a night walker. The Latin name is Potus flavus, and they can be grayish or brown, reddish brown. They sometimes have a darker stripe along the length of their back, and their head is rounded with a short muzzle. They have short legs but they do have a very long prehensile tail. Their diet includes fruit, mainly figs, insects, mainly ants, and flower nectar. They are arboreal and more active during the night. Then we have the white-nosed coati, known as the quash or the pisote. Their Latin name is Nasuanarica. They are light or dark reddish brown that resembles a raccoon with grayish or yellowish shoulders. Their muzzle is white along with their chin and throat, and they have a long tail that is faintly ringed. Their diet includes insects, fruits, small vertebrates, which are mainly rodents, and they are active during the day and can be found on the ground or in trees. Then we have the northern raccoon, the Pisote solo or the mapache, with the Latin name Procyon. Their coloration is a gray to black with grizzled um, white. Their face is whitish with a black mask over their eyes, and their forearms and thighs are gray with a light gray or white feet. And their tail is also ringed. They are active during the day and can be found on the ground or in trees. And they are highly adaptable and can live not only in forest or open areas but also in urban urban and rural areas, which is where they come into conflict with humans. And their diet includes fruits, small animals, grains, and aquatic animals. And we have another raccoon species, the cacomis or cacomis. The Latin name is Masariscus sumicrasti, and they are a grayish or reddish, sometimes with a darker stripe along their back. Their eyes are brown to blackish. They have a brown to blackish coloration around their eyes, and their face is rounded with a short muzzle. And they have a long prehensile tail which is ringed as well. Their diet includes fruits, insects, and small vertebrates, and they're active during the night and are arboreal. Then pecaries can be illegally hunted. They are a game species, but they do have a closed season. Um, they are also victims of the illegal pet trade and can also be found as orphans. So the white-lipped peccary are also referred to as a wari. Their Latin name is Thayasu pecari, from the Thyasuidae family. They are a pig. They are pigs that are black or brown, and they have long coarse hair with white lower cheek and throat, which is why they are referred to as a white-lipped peccary. And their diet includes fruit, palm nut. They browse for invertebrates. They eat snails and other invertebrates. Well, they are active during the day and form large herds. Then we have another peccary species, the colored peccary. Um, their Latin name for this species is Tayasuta jacu from the Thyasuidae family as well. And they are also gray or blackish, but instead of white chin and throat, they have a white or yellowish color around their shoulder. Their diet includes fruit, palm nuts, browse. They browse for invertebrates, snails, and small vertebrates. And they are also active during the day and form groups. Then we move to the deer species, which are also illegally hunted. They are game species in Belize, but they do have a closed season. They are also victims of the illegal pet trade and can be orphans, and they are sometimes kidnapped. So the red bucket deer, which is the smaller species of the two deer species that we have here in Belize, their Latin name is Mazama americana from the Cervidae family. They are small, well, they are reddish to reddish brown, and the males have small straight antlers on their head. And their diet includes leaves, fruits, fungi, and browse and flowers. And they're active during the day and night. Then we have the larger species of deer, the white-tailed deer. Their Latin name is the Odoculus virginianus from the same family Cervidae. They are dark or grayish brown, and their belly and under tail is white. The males of the species have branched antlers. Their diet includes what they browse for grass, fruit, and flowers, and they are also active during the day and during the night. Then we have our national animal, the tapir, which can which can be victims of vehicle collisions and are sometimes come into conflict with humans by raiding crops. So this tapir is known as the beard tapir, or referred to as the mountain cow, or danta or danto, and their Latin name is Tapirus beardi from the Tapiridae family. They are large, brownish, black, or grayish with a lighter colored throat and chest. Their head is horse like, that is large, and they have a hanging upper lip known as a proboscis. Their diet includes anything they find while they are browsing, grass, and fruits. And they are active during the day and during the night, and can be found in all forest elevations and swampy areas. Then we have the marine mammal from the Serenia group. They are victims of boat collisions and also come up as orphans. This manatee is the West Indian manatee, also referred to as the sea cow, and their Latin name is Trichechus manatus from the Trichechidae family. They are very large, hairless, gray aquatic mammals with front limbs that are paddle shaped with three nails, and they do instead of back limbs they have a large flipper tail that they use to swim. Their diet includes seagrass, invertebrates, and fish, and they are found in shallow coastal waters and offshore along keys and coastal lagoons and estuaries. Then we have the references that we use to make this presentation, and how we and what we use to identify mammals when they come into the clinic. As always, we use animal diversity.org and Encyclopedia of Life.